Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 241 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
Tommy, something, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something feels different right now.
We got a new rug. It's the rug.
It's like the Big Lebowski. It ties the room together.
But actually, for the people that are listening and not seeing, we have a whole new studio.
Yeah.
I mean, we've hinted at this thing for a long time, and the time is here. So if you're not watching, you might want to take a look, because I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah, you do want to hop on YouTube, assuming this all works, because not only is there a new studio,
there's a new camera, new lights.
Yeah.
We're in a new room. We have a new backdrop. You know what? We should probably actually read the ads before we get too excited here.
Before we get into more of the cool new studio, we need to thank and mention the sponsors that are part of what makes this possible. Today's show is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. In 1980, Buddy Cap set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling, and it was maintenance-free, of course. Hundreds of state, national, international, world, and Massenomics powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more and buy one of their legendary bars, please visit TexasPowerBars.com. And today's show was brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large has set a new standard for customer service within the strength world. They have live website chat support and speedy email responses. Lifting Large is home of the Ground Lock Deadlift Slipper, and they are always in stock and ready to ship. Massenomics listeners can save 20% on all Lifting Large branded products by using our discount code MASS20 at checkout. Today's episode is also brought to you by SPUD Inc. The goal of SPUD Inc. straps is to make products that support sports performance and help everyone achieve their training goals. They make products that last forever, won't bust your budget, and most importantly, leave no doubt about success when everything is on the line. Make sure to check them out online. That's spud-inc-straps.com. And today's episode is brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. They're your one-stop shop for all things fitness and online coaching. Whether your goals are training-related, nutrition and body composition-related, or both, Hybrid has a program for you. With dedicated and experienced coaches in each strength and fitness discipline, you can rest assured that you're in the best hands possible. We've got a discount code with them also, and that's MASS, all caps, MASS. That'll save you 5% off any training or nutrition memberships for the life of your membership. Visit them at hybridperformancemethod.com. And then, of course, as our friend Brandon Campbell pointed out, we still haven't secured that shampoo and conditioner sponsor. Head and Shoulders would be the logical
I thought for sure when
choice.
you posted that comment that he was watching like an old video where we both had our hair down and flowing. Did you have a hat on in that video or not?
I don't think I did. Okay. It was this. I think it was this last week's episode, and I don't think I did.
And I had my hair back. So I wasn't on full display, but
you can.
You get the picture. You get the idea.
You can tell, and you can see it even better now.
Yeah,
we have to be much more conscientious about the way we present ourselves.
I know
now on this,
like before,
crystal clear video.
My wife would be like, "You're gonna podcast looking like that?"
It's like, oh, they can only kind of see it.
Yeah. So, we have an all new studio. This feels like it kind of almost feels like we're like in some.
A studio,
high budget set right now. Like it's you guys can't see all of it, but there's a lot of. We should probably get a picture sometime.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of light surrounding us.
I'll have to get a picture and post.
What is the French saying? The piece de resistance behind us of the custom Massenomics M neon sign. That is really cool.
I mean, that's the coolest visually, of course, the coolest part of this, I would say, at least for the people watching. And I would say for those that strictly listen to the podcast, I suppose none of this would make any difference. But for the people that watch it, it's not just a slight upgrade. It's like we
jumped like 5 generations ahead.
Yes, it's light years. We went to light speed.
Yeah, and we knew we had to put a little more effort into the video side of things. And I guess we should say all of the people that are supporting members, our sponsors, people that bought stuff. All of this can happen because of that. Yeah, everyone's a part of it. So thank you guys.
That sign took actually several pairs of lift shorts in order to make that possible. Sign was much more expensive than what it even might look like.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. What would you tell people about the camera? Like, because I don't even know what that is, but the camera is significantly upgraded from the old point and shoot.
If anyone, I think everyone knows what a camcorder is. You know, before we were just using, just because the video for the podcast, it always started as like, well, it's a way to get it on YouTube. Yeah, it was definitely like an afterthought. For sure. And then it was like, well, we'll just kind of do whatever. And you just had a camcorder. Yeah. And so we just used that forever.
And it worked fine. I mean, most of the time it worked.
As much as like camcorders aren't good for a lot of stuff nowadays, the one thing camcorders do have in their favor is they're good for recording really long stuff. Yep. Most cameras that people buy nowadays can also record videos, but most of those cameras don't record video for longer than 30 minutes. And that is changing more and more by the year, but there's still a huge chunk of them that don't record video for longer than 30 minutes. Yep. And when you do a podcast in the way that we do it, where we have guests and things, we can't just be like, hey, hold that thought for a minute. Right. We need to reset the camera here. Right. So like that was never an option. And then like even phones are getting better, but like recording an hour plus thing on a phone when who knows who's going to call you or something's going to die. And then it's a phone too. So it doesn't feel like the most sturdy piece of equipment. Right. So it was we were always in this weird limbo. What we finally did is we're recording on the Canon EOS R with a Atomos Ninja 5 external recorder so that we can bypass the 30-minute limit and record as much as we want. And on top of that, it gives us a nice, for Tanner and I, it gives us a nice big screen to look at ourselves on.
That's what which is kind of hard for me to look away from that because I'm like, well,
before, it used to be just the tiny little flip out LCD screen on the camcorder, which is smaller than any phone. So we couldn't, it's like, there's two people on that. We could tell, but outside of that, you couldn't see anything. And now we can like see ourselves in here and it's like, oh, are we on a Hollywood set? Like I actually want to like look at the camera now, whereas before I never would because there's nothing to look at. I'd just be looking at this black box in front of me.
I'm really glad you got the Ninja 5 versus the plain old Ninja 4.
We would have looked like idiots with the Ninja 4. Yeah,
is that a thing? Do you think?
Yeah, I think this is the fifth one. Okay. They have like you can get these monitors that go up to like I think they make one that's like 12 or 16 inches. Like you can get big ones like that people use on sets, and we are not even scratching the surface of what this thing can do. There's all types of crazy stuff in there, and a lot of the terminology I don't understand one bit, but that's totally fine. Yeah. As long, and I should say, while we're talking about this, Tanner, there's still like a 25% chance that this isn't going to work. Right. And because we're just listening, they're just like
watching, and they're like, "You idiots!"
Yeah, and because we're just winging it. I shouldn't say winging it, but we're just putting so much faith in this. We're not using a backup camera. Like we're just doing it. Right. But it says it's recording. So
and we know the audio is still our bread and butter.
That is the most important part. And if the video doesn't work, well, I guess we'll issue an apology next week, and it will be working next week.
But the end goal here is to get the video more up to snuff with the audio. And I think we're probably there. It's just a matter of hoping that it all works at this point. If it all works as it looks like it probably is, I think we're to that point where and
there will be some incremental improve. Like we've already talked about a few things we want to do, but something to keep everyone checking back in to see what we got going on. So
that sign does look really good though.
It certainly does pop.
It's got that red. It also, if red neon does anything, it's pop.
It also does, it has some pretty cool like strobe things that we were looking at before this, but it would make for an incredibly obnoxious podcast for anyone that watches. So we'll keep the strobe features to a minimum.
Yep. Maybe for a special segment or something.
But I'm excited about this though. Yeah. So with that being said, while we're on the topic of new stuff, actually, Tanner, I am also rocking the new limited edition Lift Christmas ugly sweater.
Talk about things that pop.
And with this new camera, I could probably show it off.
They can hear and see us over all the popping that's going on right now.
Snap, crackle, pop, baby. But we got the Lift holiday sweater.
Yeah.
These just at the time of this being released, this podcast being released, actually, for the people listening to it, it's only been out for a couple days.
Yep.
So you want to get on those, especially because the holiday season is so short.
Right. You need it right away so you can start wearing it as much as possible through the holiday
And we were going to
season.
hold off on this for a Black Friday drop, but we're like, who are we to deprive people
Right.
of their holiday festiveness?
So this is kind of the early
This is like
peak
the Black Friday, like, you know, when you're little and you can't wait for presents and your parents say, well, if you're good,
you can open one.
You can open one. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
It
it's
is.
exactly what we're doing. Well, you got to open your one.
And like us giving it to someone is like or us even letting people like see that it exists is kind of like opening up a present early too.
That is. I mean, you still have to pay for it and we're not giving it to you. But
it's like the present that you have to pay for and buy. But it's the thought that counts, right?
That's true. That's
So
the Christmas spirit.
yeah, this is just this was going to be a Black Friday item. We're jumping the gun on it, but it is a taste of what Black Friday is going to be, and this is just
pretty
one
cool
small
too,
part
isn't it?
of what Black Friday is. So I'm still very excited about Black Friday. We got some really awesome stuff coming up.
Oh, boy, we have really cool stuff coming for Black Friday. I don't want to discourage you from snagging this right now while you can, because this almost goes without saying, these are limited to the extent of we're not going to reorder more. We're not going to be like 1 week till Christmas. Let's get another order of those.
You know what? Those went pretty good.
Yeah.
It's January 15th. Let's get another batch of Christmas sweaters.
So
going.
if you want one of those, I would hop on it, because when they're gone, those really are gone.
Mm-hmm. And it's on the same. It's a red sweater.
Yeah.
It's on the same sweatshirt as your the 8-bit powerlifting or the lift sweatshirt.
Yes.
The crew neck.
The crew neck. Yeah.
I think those are the only two crew necks we have right now. Aren't
Right.
They? Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
But it's on the same one as both of those. I think we're going to sell it for a little bit cheaper though too. Like, so that's partly the gift too. This one is slightly discounted.
Part of the gift.
Yeah.
Phil Heath style.
Yeah, I was going to say Luke Richardson in the future. All this talk about things is making me thirsty though.
Oh.
So
I have a Christmas sweater on, so I'm extra hot,
yeah,
which means I'm extra thirsty.
Right. So this is, if you remember.
Do I need to close my eyes?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Can you remember all the way back to last week?
Like 7 days ago?
Yeah, where you spilled the Canadian sparkling water.
Yeah,
on
where I
yourself.
wore the Canadian.
Yeah, and I said that was part one.
Mm-hmm.
From what is he now? He didn't make President of Ontario. I think he's Secretary Treasurer, maybe whatever default position.
Government
some
stuff,
cabinet position. But that was part one from him last week. This week is part two. And we also got tricked in that one had sugar in it.
Yep.
This is something different this is.
Did you say this is the sequel?
Yeah, this is the sequel. So yes, are your eyes closed?
My eyes are closed.
Is your palate cleansed? Oh yeah, that sounds cleansed.
Okay,
Okay.
yep.
So
And for our viewers, you're gonna really see this in crystal.
and I haven't
clear
tried this either.
Okay, did you make sure to shake this up a lot before you gave it to me again, Tanner?
I promise I did try to.
Just the running gag every week. You just
What if this one
my eyes are
sprayed all over
closed?
the brand new camera?
Like, yeah,
equipment and stuff?
if I go back and look at the video, I could clearly see that every week Tanner's just shaking it up before he gives it to me.
Safe that time. I really am thirsty. This is making me thirsty thinking about.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
Well, I don't know about the smell right off the bat. It seems a little fresher now. Let's go in for the first taste.
What in the world?
Wow, there is a profile here, Tanner.
Yeah, there is. If you got this right, I would be.
I mean, to be honest, I would say they took like a LaCroix flavor, but said, let's use bad old fruit to make it. Isn't that what you would say it is?
Oh.
It's not. It doesn't have crispness, that's for sure.
Ooh.
It just tastes like.
Wow, there's a lot going on here.
It tastes like kind of bad fruit, to be honest. Can I don't know what this is.
You're not gonna
maple water from sparkling maple water. Okay, that makes it all right. Let me go back again here. Sparkling maple water. Here we go.
orange mango sparkling maple water.
Orange mango. I didn't see that part. Okay, orange mango sparkling maple water.
Nutrient rich and deliciously hydrating.
Okay, that makes me a little bit more palatable, knowing that it's Not some crazy. At first, I thought it was going to be like some kombucha flavored
Right.
LaCroix or something.
So this is 40 calories per 12-ounce can. Contains 10% juice, 8 grams of sugar. Ingredients are carbonated organic maple water, organic orange juice concentrate, organic mango puree concentrate. What is maple water?
I don't know. It's like it's either maple or it's water, right? I guess you can do both here. Wow.
What?
It's such a weird flavor.
So is there a mapley flavor there too, or is that just straight up the orange mango that you flip?
Well, I do know for sure now that you say it. The mango is just a flavor that always sits weird with me.
Yeah.
Like mangoes just always taste dirty. They don't taste. They're not fresh like an orange or an apple or a pamplemousse. They're not fresh like that. Mango always has a certain dirtiness in the way I taste it. And then you mix in maple with it, and I think that brings down any fruit flavor. It has a little more.
I'll be honest, this gives it like a puckering of my, like it's. I don't think this is enjoyable.
I wouldn't drink another one. I'm not sure I'll finish this one. I'm glad we got these sent to us.
Yeah, no,
This is maybe the most unique sparkling water we've ever had on the show.
I think
Tanner.
this is the most unique sparkling water we've ever had. I think that's
and also the fact that it has like
Okay.
the blank aluminum can with the sticker on it makes me feel like it's coming from.
Let me
a small
read this
company.
one other little bit just to give people some insight. Sparkling maple water is delightfully sippable, totally organic, nutrient-packed, tree-based hydration with naturally occurring electrolytes, prebiotics, and no added sugar. Maple water is tapped directly from maple trees, is GMO, gluten, and dairy-free.
Oh, of course, the maple orange mango tree. They tap it straight from it.
Hashtag tree hugger or tree chugger. Tree chugger. I like that.
Wow. So now the question everyone wants to know: how many JD Power and Associates do you give this thing, Tanner?
I'll tell you right now, it's not getting 3.5.
No, I was thinking
I'm gonna
maybe
have
like
to go like
1.5.
I want to know what I gave kombucha because this is better than kombucha, but not much. It's annoying because I'm thirsty right now, like, this isn't like I could drink this whole thing and my thirst isn't going to be quenched. Really, I don't feel like
No, because then I get the flavor in my mouth, and I'm like, I
want
want to drink
water.
it down, but I can't get it.
What did you say? 1.5?
Yeah, like 1.5. I don't even know if I should give it. That seems a little generous too, though, because it's not actually doing anything for my thirst.
Yeah, I mean, like, where would you put piss? At? Like, is that a 0.5 or is that a 0? Like, I'm trying to like determine what the scale
I
is.
guess
Like,
piss is probably a 0,
or is that like worse than the scale?
'Cause,
Like, what's the worst thing on the scale?
I think 0 should be the worst on the scale. Give me piss,
Right,
I would
but,
have
like-
to give it a 0.
Would a 0 be something that just doesn't taste very, like, would be something that tastes horrible that nobody would ever drink? Like piss. Like, is piss a 0 or is piss is like a -2?
No, I think piss is a 0. Like
okay.
0 is like if something's
It's
a 0,
disgusting and revolting.
Yeah, like you clearly know when you're giving that to someone,
Yeah.
they're going to be in for a
It's
bad
something
time.
that's disgusting and revolting and no one would ever want to consume it.
Yeah.
That's a 0.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I would give this a 1.5. I think that's
based off of those
Yeah,
standards.
yeah.
This reaches the 1.5 scale. Wow. Okay. Well, records are being set today, Tanner. Gives you just that little extra shake at the
Are you going to
end.
be able to finish it, do you think?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how parched I get as we go. But
I do appreciate it being sent though, and now I know I'm probably not going to. There is a couple other flavors though, so maybe we'll wait down the road and
And revisit this.
Yeah, right. I was gonna do the 2 flavors thing. He sent like 3 or 4 different flavors.
yeah, I think it's good that we. Tie this together.
Right. Because maybe the
I'd be like, yours
raspberry
yours
or what?
can't
Yeah,
be this bad. Is what we'd both be saying.
Like if
to
I
each
gave
other.
you the orange mango and I had a delicious raspberry one, I'd be like, well, I don't know what he's talking about. It tastes pretty good to me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for those.
Yeah.
Let's do one very quick thing, strength related. World's Strongest Man. They are going through a delay because of with everything going on.
Yeah, with everything going on, it's just one more thing. 2020, am I right?
Oh boy,
2020.
But yeah, the old hurricane coming through
Yeah.
Florida. is putting I don't know, is it a day delay, 2-day delay, 3?
I think
they said.
What I've heard so far is that they're going to try to go tomorrow. But
okay. So
I don't know.
A day.
Yeah.
And another one. Good thing neither one of us said Konstantin Janashia was going to place because he has COVID. So, so he is out.
Because I know they did do everyone had to get tested and they were in quarantine for like 24 hours or whatever, however long it took for their test results and everything.
Yeah. So it's a good thing we didn't pick him. So our picks are still in the running. Not even really sure who I said now because that took a very long time.
Yeah. You said,
I think I said Luke Richardson. I'm not actually
Tom
sure.
Stoltman.
I think I said Tom Stoltman.
Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
I think we're the three.
First,
that you
second,
picked.
third. Yeah. There you go. You
And
could say whoever you want right now.
I said Brian Shaw for number 1.
There you go. I don't know who you said for 2 and 3. So
I said the 2 Stoltmans, I think, Tom and
you?
Luke. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember in which order, but
well, we're still in the running.
Well, by the time this comes out, people probably know if we're, well, I don't know. I'm not sure how long the whole thing takes between they do their heats and their.
It's always the taping or it's always the broadcast.
Right. Well, we
Like
won't
you
see the
find out on
broadcast
Instagram pretty fast usually, but yeah, it's the broadcast thing is months, weeks, years.
Right. But so it did get delayed a week. It's funny that all the weird places they have World's Strongest Man and the one that a natural disaster gets in the way is in Florida.
Yeah.
Not in.
Is this hurricane season right now though? Isn't hurricane season normally in the spring?
I don't know.
You know, we are kind of weather aficionados. We have started a new segment.
It's a new.
The
problem was people were getting annoyed having to wait weekly for us to do weather updates. They wanted more up to the minute.
Yeah.
Western, Northeast, South Dakota weather updates.
If you've ever watched the news, you know people want up to the minute.
Yes.
But that is what every news station brings is up to the minute.
The best up to the minute weather updates in our case. So what we did is we have pushed that a little bit to our Instagram feed.
Yeah,
so now
you can check the story. We're putting daily Massenomics live weather updates from Western, Northeast, South Dakota.
So everyone can stay abreast on the latest weather updates.
I've noticed a large uptick in people referencing our geographic location.
Yeah.
And also a even larger uptick in the number of people putting the directions in the wrong order and incorrectly. I've seen some Western South Dakota, some Eastern, some Northwest South Dakota.
It really gets wrong when you mix it around too much too. You know, it gets wrong really fast.
So you can be in a very different part of the state in a hurry. So we are bringing those live to people.
Or in a different state if you even say it really. Oh, I can't drink it. I'm not going to
go
go back.
Better. It's not better. Maybe out of a silly pint it'd be better to enter.
Everything's better out of a silly
where
pint.
It could really breathe.
This is encouraging throwaway culture for me though, because it kind of makes me want to throw it away.
Yeah, it is doing its part for throwaway culture. That's for sure.
Oh,
speaking of silly pints too, though, people still love those things.
Silly pints are flying out. We restocked the black ones, and people have been utilizing them a lot in the Lift Hard, Live Easy. To give an update on this, we haven't selected a winner yet for the Lift Hard, Live Easy contest. That comes around like Sunday. So about the time that this podcast airs, the last day to get an entry in is Sunday. So this will air on Monday. About this time, we'll be working on selecting a winner of the contest. And that is not going to be easy.
No, it's going to be a very.
We don't.
I'm gonna rely heavily on your spreadsheet, Tanner. I haven't seen that thing yet. But,
I have been updating the spreadsheet.
That is instrumental to all of our contests, is because of the sheer number of entries and what happens in all of them.
Yep, we will have a spreadsheet, and I do know that this. Not only is it going to be hard to pick the winner, we're also going to struggle to get through even like the cutoff of however many.
The runner-ups,
because there's a lot of good. They're almost all good. That's the problem. Like, there's none where I'm like, not gonna win.
Yeah, we got some great.
People are really pulling out all the stops.
Yeah,
just shockingly good. Some of them were almost
I think they wrote I think they actually wrote a script for this.
yes. And a couple even done really well with no speaking at all, just shot in a way where I'm like, that takes a different type of creativity where I'm like, you just put together a minute video with no talking and it still has like this flow and feels cool to it.
Yeah. Some talented people out there.
There is. Really talented.
Did you say something about a sack this week,
Tanner?
Oh
my goodness. We got all this stuff. I mean, we got a guest to get to later here eventually, but yes, there is a sack. And so the question is, what's in my sack? And why is it a box? Would be the other question. If you're
what's in Tanner's sack, and why is Tanner's sack a box? That was the first question everyone had.
What's in Tanner's sack is much like many of our jokes, the joke that never stops, like the innuendos that go along.
This I think is our longest running segment.
It is. It's the first segment we ever had, and it's not necessarily around every single week, but it has been pretty consistent lately. And this is from Adam. Well, thank goodness we have this.
This high quality video feed to show it off.
So he sent us this banner.
Oh, reserved for lifting.
No parking. Kind of the classic no parking, almost like the handicap sign, but reserved for lifting. And it's a feller doing a deadlift, it looks like.
Very nice.
You can't exactly tell by the style of art, so I like to think it's a Jefferson deadlift.
You can't say that it's not.
Right.
There's no way to prove that it's not. So the Jefferson deadlift no parking banner.
So he sent us that and littering and smoking the reefer.
Grassonomics is also getting a few call outs this week.
Grassonomics. So that kind of is indicating that we do need to switch the whole name. Oh, I'm just losing stuff.
Oh, we got all types of stuff pouring out of here.
So that I believe you might find is in
damn.
your size.
Can't hear the crinkly paper or the crinkly packaging.
Oh, he wrote us a note too. Let me see if it's appropriate for air. Hey boys. We had sent Adam a few things, so he said he was getting our flags hung up, and actually I see that he does have our lift flag hanging already in the garage gym lab. He said, I hope you enjoy the banner and tees. Chat soon at Big Adam.
This is a Bar Wars Garage Gym Lab tee, printed on a high quality next level.
Yep.
Only the finest.
We're no stranger to that next level. He really
fits great.
I'd say he took these tees to the next level.
He did.
And also he ships in the same box that we ship banners in, because I know that as a fact.
There's significant savings through the post office.
And also back when he was getting banners, I remember it as when this came in, I thought, actually, when I saw this in the mail, I thought, who the hell returned? I always get a little annoyed whenever something shows up, return to sender. And we send a lot of banners in this exact box with this exact same label. And I'm like, damn it. What is this? I always, the running joke at my house is if, nobody's allowed to bring me any returns from the mail. I'm like, I don't want to even see them because it sours my day. And I'm like, oh wait, no, this is something from him. But he had asked us what we like to ship banners in, and I gave him this recommendation. I like to use this because you can, just like this, you can also fit some shirts and stuff in there. But I got the classic. I would say the classic.
Ooh, that is
looking.
Crispy. Oh, we even have the little. Does mine have that one? Oh shit!
I know. I know who this is.
It's I think it's Forever Fierce.
Yeah.
They do some pretty solid work.
I wonder if we need this thing.
I was thinking about that for our sweaters. How sure it would be a nice.
Well, we've got the custom tag on
our
sweaters
tees.
now.
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would.
Guys, we're doing some Massenomics brainstorming over here.
We're talking about a little. What do you call this? I think we talked about this even years ago. How
we
this
did
could
actually.
Be
we did actually talk about it a long time ago. I forget what the name for it is.
See, I don't want someone else's ours, but
there is an actual name for it, and I can't remember. And I feel my brain ain't working, Tanner.
Oh, so if you do start seeing that on our shirts, you'll know
you heard it here first.
You were in on the conversation. But this is I like the color. I always kind of like his colors. That green. I like it because it's just a little bit different, and it's pretty recognizable as his when things are that color.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that was a solid sack, Tanner.
Yep. Thank you, Garage Gym Lab.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That was great stuff.
What else do we have?
Should I look at the rundown?
Yeah. Are you finished with that rundown yet?
See if I missed anything.
I mean, this is well old news by now, but the election stuff, and someone had a meme where it was in the office, Charles, I think, is the guy.
Idris Elba?
Yeah, yes, it's him on top, and He goes, "Are you finished with that rundown yet?" And then on the bottom, it's Jim's confused face, and it says Jim is Nevada. Yeah. You know, and it's like, because at the time, you know, Nevada was so far behind on their reporting of the votes, and it's like Nevada's like, "Oh wait, what was the? I never really knew what the rundown was." Yeah. So that rundown. Should we do some ads? Or are we moving on? Was there anything else, Tanner? Now's your last chance. I just want to see if there was anything else written in the rundown. We did the sack segment. We do have a couple podcast reviews. Do we want to do that first or later?
What do you feel, Tanner? This is your call.
What time is it?
What do you feel?
Let's do a couple of reviews really quick.
Okay, get them going. I'm just
because we're getting more.
While you're reading those, I'm just going to be sipping and enjoying a fine maple orange mango sparkling water.
We are up to like 263 5-star reviews now.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? Like The Office, where Michael feels like he has to punish himself by eating mayo and olives. And they're like, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, it's terrible. And he just keeps doing it. That's kind of what it's like. Like, why am I doing this? But what was that number again?
263.
Getting closing in on 300.
Right. Well, we're for sure closing it. Like, I think within the next month, we're going to have to start talking about the road to 300. Not talking about it yet, but we're going to have to talk about it soon. Mm-hmm. So
that could be early 2021.
Right.
Could be 300 happening.
Yeah. And I think there's got to be, at the very least, a billboard involved.
I don't know how there couldn't be. We set a precedent now.
Right. Every 100, there has to be a billboard. Yeah. And the faster those start coming, you know, if these gain velocity, there's just going to be a lot of billboards.
Yeah.
It'd be like, actually, we just need all of them in Western, Northeast, South Dakota
for this to take place.
Okay. First one is titled "With Everything Going On," and it's from Redhead Stunner. Spoiler alert, listening to this podcast will teach you how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength. Your total will go up and you'll go broke trying to afford lift shorts. Be sure to follow them on Instagram, on their website, everything. That's the Matt Haddon quote, I believe, there at the end. Mm-hmm. Next one is from Don G. Biggin. And he says, if you could turn a meme into an hour-long show, this podcast is pretty much what you would get. If you come into it expecting nothing, you won't be disappointed. This is the premier podcast for insights such as how to get LaCroix, how to stay eating apple pies, even how to use your wallet to pay for lift shorts. An excellent twist on the Kaz quote.
Well done.
And last one is from Hunter Tabial. Crispy boys. Whether you've come from a podcast about a nice LaCroix right out of the oven or a podcast about ads, you've come to the right place. Never miss an episode. Keep on keeping it on. And yeah, this podcast, I'm confused here. there's some typos here.
Just got to read around those.
And this podcast, I definitely give cool beans.
Awesome.
So yes, 3 good reviews there. I struggled a bit with the last one, but we got through it, Tommy.
Okay, here we go. This episode of the Massenomics podcast in the brand new Massenomics studio. Is this Studio 7.0?
Oh, God.
I was trying to actually think about that.
That's too hard to say. There's 3. We know we've talked about it before, but
3 at Tyler's.
3 at Tyler's. 1 at the, I would count
one
the
at the
gym.
1 at my old house. 1 at this house.
I would say this is 7.0.
Okay.
And we're also in Gym 3.0. We're in Massenomics Gym 3.0.
Yeah.
Studio 7.0.
Numbers keep growing, baby.
A lot of things.
The Massenomics podcast is brought to you by SPUD Inc. and the Fat Triceps Strap. The thickest strap handle we've ever made, the SPUD Inc. Fat Triceps Strap is designed to build your forearms and make your everyday exercises like pull-ups, face pulls, and push-downs excruciating. And because it's built from a nearly indestructible nylon webbing, like everything at SPUD Inc.,
of course,
this strap will last a lot longer than your grip ever will. Check out the SPUD Inc. Fat Triceps Strap online at spud-inc-straps.com. And today's show is also brought to you by Lifting Large. Since 2004, Lifting Large has been providing lifters across the world with powerlifting gear from Titan Support Systems. Lifting Large has the largest in-stock supply on Titan wrist and knee wraps in the world. Lifting Large is home of the Ground Lock Deadlift Slipper, and they're always in stock and always ready to ship. They also have ER competition combo racks in stock and ready to ship too. So, you just throw those in the cart while you're getting your Throw one of those in the cart while you're getting your
They're both
ground lock deadlift slippers.
They're both ready to ship.
They're both ready to ship. You'd be a fool not to. They are the only powerlifter supplier with live chat support available during the weekdays. And you can also get email replies to questions in hours, not days. They are now accepting Amazon Pay and Stripe for a quick and simple checkout process. And once you have completed your checkout, you can know that your items will ship fast with same-day shipping on most orders. Massenomics listeners can use code MASS20, that's MASS20, to get 20% off all Lifting Large branded products and also receive 50 rewards points added to your Lifting Large account. Place your orders at liftinglarge.com, and you can follow them on Instagram at liftinglarge.com. That's at liftinglarge.com. This episode is also brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. If you've been training without a coach and have been looking for a competitive edge, remember to check out hybridperformancemethod.com. Hybrid has 15 different strength and fitness programs covering everything from powerlifting and strongman to gymnastics and general fitness, all included in one training membership. That's not all. Hybrid also offers one-on-one personalized nutrition coaching that uses lifestyle habits and a flexible approach to shape your nutrition plan around your current lifestyle instead of turning your lifestyle upside down in order to support unsustainable habits that only work in the short run the way most programs do. If you're ready to take your training, nutrition, or both to the next level, use code MASS in all caps, that's MASS, for 5% off membership to all programs for the life of your membership. And last but not least, this episode of the Massenomics podcast is also brought to you by our good friends at Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. Tanner, I could really use a refreshing beverage right now, but
Unfortunately,
we do not have one of those, so I'm just going to have to keep toughing this out.
actually, as you were reading, I was like, I'm going to try this again. I bet it's a little better. Took another sip. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be any better.
Nope.
In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues with those inferior bars from Champion Barbell. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he'd ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit TexasPowerBars.com.
Right on. So our guest for today's episode is going to be Greg Panora, none other than
The one and only.
Big Greg. I don't know if we said that again.
I don't think
We just always have so many damn things.
Big
to get
Greg,
through.
as seen in West Side versus the World.
Yes, the one and only. So should we try and get him on the horn here?
Yep.
Here we go.
Still choking this down, Tanner.
Don't do it.
Hello.
Big Greg, is this you?
What's up? What's up? Yes, it is.
Awesome. This is Tanner and Tommy here, and you're live on the Massenomics podcast. We're excited to have you on.
What's up, Greg?
Awesome. What's up, guys? How you doing?
We're doing great.
Great to be here.
We were talking before we start the show. We usually go over a few things, and we'll ask you a few questions, and then we'll have you play our overrated, underrated game with you. And we got some good topics for you. And we were talking, and are you from Maine? Is that where you live? We were trying to.
I live there now. I'm from Mass originally, but yeah.
Okay, you kind of got that accent too.
The Mass accent, yeah.
Where were you? Were you from Boston or somewhere around there?
More by Worcester, if you know Mass.
Okay. No.
Nope.
There's two places. There's Boston and there's Worcester. So you're from one of those two places.
Okay. We know Northeast South Dakota. Is it anything like that?
I have no idea.
I'll just assume it is. So
Yeah.
we'll assume it is.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is, my first big exposure to you was when West Side versus the World came out.
Right.
And, we had been excited to watch that for much like everyone, for like it seemed like 2 years, as it was getting
Right.
made. And we've had Michael Fahey on the podcast here before and got to talk to him about it. And anyways, we loved the movie, and of course, but that was the first time when I was, and I had known your name and stuff before that, but where I'd really seen you a lot, and was like, this. I want to know more about this guy.
This
then
guy
I think
knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Right. And then I think shortly after we started following on Instagram, and you have a cool presence there. Did you notice a lot of, gaining a lot of popularity or whatever for whatever Instagram is worth and internet and crap like that? But did you notice through the movie that a lot more people were recognizing you? And,
no doubt. Absolutely. It's funny. Like I was sometimes people are like, hey, you're the guy in the movie. You know what I mean? It's like, but I didn't think for 5 minutes anybody was ever going to watch that movie. Like, for real. Like, I was like, this is going to work. Nobody's going to care. And then it's big. It's weird. It's cool.
Yeah. Was there anything, I imagine your interview was in there quite a bit, and I imagine you said a lot more than what actually makes it into the movie. Was there stuff that when you watch it, you're like, did it come across exactly how you feel like you would have come across, or is there stuff missing? Okay.
No, not really. Did a good job. I was proud of it. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It's just like when we were filming it, I was like, I had just torn my quad too. Like before we made that, I tore my quad like an hour before that. So I was in a pissy mood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a new girlfriend. I dated this girl for like a week, and she was in the bed eating M&Ms during it. I'll never forget it. I was like, my life is supposed to be horrible. When I get home, when I do this plane home tomorrow, I know my quad is torn. I'm like, fuck, I was so mad when we were filming that.
Yeah. So you are in like a unique position with Westside versus the World coming out, being that you were one of the few people that actually trained at Westside. So you have, you can see both sides of it. You get to see the movie, and you also get to like, you were in it, you were a part of it. Do you feel like watching the movie, did that do an accurate job of depicting the West Side lifestyle?
It's tougher than I think they could really go into in the movie. I mean, they did a great job, of course, but it's hard to simulate like the competitiveness of it. You know what I mean? Like, and see that, like, I don't think it's quite that way now, like it was when I was there. So I think, that's kind of missed, but no, they did a great job. Awesome movie. I love it.
Yeah. Cool.
It's on repeat at our gym. Yeah. On any given month, it's on repeat 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
literally on repeat.
I've only watched it once.
Okay.
I've only seen it once.
Yeah. So something I was wondering about is you've also kind of somewhat rare. I think I'm not sure that a lot of people have done it, and probably not many at all that have done it to your level, is the raw, especially, I mean, you've done single ply too, but the multiply, single ply and raw, where you've excelled at all of those. I don't really, there's not many people that come to my mind that have done that. I mean, maybe of more.
I've been here so long, you know what I mean? It's really what it is. It just gets boring, you know what I mean? It's like, I need something new. And, I've been in the sport now. This is my 21st year in the sport, and 10 years before that too. So it's been like 2/3 of my life, have been devoted to the sport. So, it wasn't that difficult to jump from one to the other. I got very strong, very young. So going to multiply was pretty easy, and I understood it kind of right away. And it was when I put the suit on for the first time, I squatted like 940 or something like that. Like, it just made sense.
Yeah.
And so transferring to raw was much tougher though, because I had just had a stroke. So like, I started from the very bottom. Like I had to work like very, very, very beginner mechanics again to be able to do that right. And so it was much, much harder. And that's sort of why I'm more focused on it now. I understand it more, I think, than I do gear lifting, just because it's been much harder. So.
Yeah. Did you say you had a stroke?
Yeah, you know that? Yeah, I had a massive stroke in 2010.
Wow. Was that just out of nowhere completely?
Completely out of nowhere, yeah. It was bizarre. Just like one day I had a brain aneurysm. And one night I woke up and half my body didn't work. And that's why I left multiply lifting in 2010. I was right at the top of that point. I had a lot of good years left, and then it was just over. So I had a couple of years in between where I was like, I didn't know what to do. And then one day I was cool, and, so I went into raw. So I totaled 2102 raw without wraps after a stroke.
Wow. That's a comeback road that not a lot of people go on.
Yeah.
Right.
How old were you when you had your stroke then?
30.
Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, one of those things. They say it's an anomaly, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it was rough for a while, and then, you know, and then everything started coming back, and you know, movement patterns started coming back, and boom, it was cool.
Yeah.
It's been a great run. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy to think at 30 years old, you know, to go through that. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Right, and that was my job basically. You know, I was looking professionally, and that was it. And then boom. So yeah, I mean, take care of yourselves for sure, for real.
Yeah, and the mental side of that is probably equally as challenging of the physical as at that point in time then too.
Oh yeah, no doubt, absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, you have two choices: you can get better or not, and so I chose to just work on everything until I get better, or as good as it's going to be. And then, you know, for a while I couldn't hold on to a barbell, and then all of a sudden it just kind of came back, and boom, I was back in it.
Yeah.
You know, I told 2000 my first raw comp, which would be my first comp in like 4 years. And I go on YouTube like later on that week, and the first comment is, "Man, Panora sucks raw." I'm like,
yeah,
you just can't have it all.
Yeah.
No.
So you're leaving, and I get confused on, you know, we've seen, like you said, we've seen the movie several times, but I get confused on people's different storylines and stuff in there.
Right.
You're leaving Westside. Did you leave on your own accord, or did you get kicked out, or what was like the transition?
No, I walked out on my own accord.
Okay. Because it seems like it seems like everyone at some point in time, everyone either quits or gets kicked. You know, like that. There's
or dies.
Louis, yeah, all right.
Me and Louis though had a very, very special relationship. Like we were. I mean, I hate to say it because you hate to hear this, but he was like my dad. You know what I mean? Like I was with him all the time. You know, so I was the last one he'd probably ever throw out. I think it was a big surprise for everybody, including myself. Really, I didn't even know. It just happened so quickly. It was done, and that was that. You know.
Yep. So something else I'm thinking about here that I really like is on your Instagram page. You, a lot of your, you know, about half of your posts are the ones where it's just, you know, something that you wrote out, you know, it's a couple sentences. They're
basically like memes without the picture.
Right.
Quite two memes.
Right. Yeah, I like them like that. Like, it's really funny. Like, it's just right to the point. And so is that stuff mostly just whatever's hitting you, that, like, where does that come from?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, like I watch powerlifting basically, you know, 17 hours a day. I'm watching people lift weights, like, you know, so sometimes something will just hit my brain and be, oh, that's funny, you know, or whatever, or maybe that's what, you know.
Yeah. And it is because, like, after you lift long enough, it's like, yep, you don't write that stuff unless you've been around lifting a really long time. And then the people that have, it's super relatable. You know, we've all been there or seen it.
It was cool as I can make fun of everybody. So it's
that's how you get away with it too, is you just kind of give everyone hell and then it's all right.
Right.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, they need to make sure to follow you on Instagram too, because you know, you got to see them. They're good. But you still train pretty heavy too. Like I you mentioned 5 plates.
Sure.
Yep. Would you ever have a desire to compete again, or are you done with that?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I'll go back.
Okay.
You know, what happened, honestly, what was the baby? You know, if anyone's had a baby listening, it's tough. It's tough. And so I lost a bunch of weight at that time and really, really never pushed to come back that hard. So, you know, I'm always like, if I'm benching over 500, I can squat and deadlift 700, I'm good.
Yep.
You know, so, but I think I could absolutely, my body's healthy. I feel great. So I think I could absolutely go right back into a comeback if I wanted to. And I will at some point.
Yeah. How old are you now?
I'm 40.
Yeah. Okay. And it's funny because I'm 33. Tommy, you're like
31.
And it's, you know, so you're a few years older than us. But since you started lifting so early, like when you watch the movie and look at it through there, like it almost is like, well, that guy's got to be like 50 by now. That was like a lifetime ago, right. But like when you're 20 years old and you're that strong, like it just puts everything out of whack in the time perspective a little bit. But yeah, so you would compete again. So would you compete raw then at that point in time?
Absolutely.
If you did?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have no desire ever to go back and multiply. I love it and I'm not taking away from it, but I'm done with it. I went as far as I could, the best I could, and I did what I wanted. You know what I mean? I did way more than I wanted. So, like, I'm cool leaving that behind, and with a lot of love too. But like, I would definitely stay raw. Probably with wraps this time. My knees are starting to feel the 30 years of this shit. So
yeah. What I saw a couple times and someone said that we need to make sure to ask you about it, but you and Dan Bell going back and forth, giving each other a little hell on Instagram. What was that? What was the? I
was giving a shit. I love him. He's my favorite lifter on the whole planet. He's fucking awesome. So I give him shit sometimes.
Yeah, that's funny. So it was friendly then for the most part.
Oh yeah, okay, absolutely, 100%.
We always like to try to dig up some dirt, so that's not. We like to get people
if I don't like somebody, I'm probably not going to talk to them.
Right. No, and Dan was just on a few weeks ago, and we've had him on a few times, and he's good stuff. But
yes,
usually we like to jokingly say bad stuff about him, and hope that he doesn't hurt us.
He'll probably listen to this.
See, with Dan, I knew years ago that he was going to be the best of all time. I said it aloud a billion times. I knew he was going to be the best. I could see it. He is something that I don't think anybody else has. They have. Chev had it. Just that instinctual greatness that keeps getting better and better and better. And Dan, if you're listening, man, I promise you can take that total up another 100 pounds if you don't do some dumb shit. I'm just saying that right now. Just be smart. And you can go as far as you want, man. You're insane. So.
Yeah. He does listen too, so he would have heard that. So you should probably say something bad too. You don't want
a chance to call him out.
Dan, your multiply bench sucks, bro.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't argue with that too much, though. I don't think. You coach a lot of people too, right?
I mean, that's your huge team. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
the money maker.
Yep. So. On the lines of coaching, and whether it's people you coach or you just obviously, like you said, you've been around the sport as long as you have been, what's the most common repeated mistakes you see lifters make? Is there any general stuff like that, or is it too many?
There's so many.
Yeah.
But the big thing are like the mental things. So at the beginning, it's all mental, and it's, you can't put a time frame on how long it's going to take, and people come in with these insane goals. Well, I hear all the time, I want to break the world record. I want to beat, Dan Bell, or I want to be. It's like, chill out. You know what I mean? Be around for a minute.
We even hear that in our local gym here, and it's just like, where are these people coming from?
It's a great goal, but compete a little bit first. Get out of the local comps,
or lift for 6 years first, and then maybe think about even trying to be serious.
Yeah, right. And that's the big one is it doesn't matter. It's going to take a long time, and your best bet is to find a coach, honestly, that knows what they're doing. You're going to get a lot further that way, and it's going to be a lot safer. The idea of coaching, at least in my mind, is to keep my athletes safe, and coach in a way that they're going to make it through from comp to comp to comp, Right. The big thing I see is the injuries. It's like, how are you that beat up with a 300-pound bench?
Right.
And sorry, Trevor Jaffe. Sorry, man. But yeah, I mean, how you? It's like, I'm just seeing crazy injuries with lightweight. It's because there's no base building anymore. It's jumping right into triples and doubles. Like, put on some muscle mass. Do some bodybuilding first.
Yep. Well, and it does seem like in the sport of powerlifting, if you can stay healthy and train not like a jackass, you can keep getting stronger for a long time.
Yes,
but if you battling injuries, that's the biggest thing that's going to set you back.
It's like once one starts popping up, the second one comes, and the third one.
Once one comes,
it's a slippery slope.
It just keeps falling apart. Yep, and it's just sad to watch because you see with all the greats too. It's like, oh my god, if you could have lasted 5 more years, you could have done things that were insane. Mm-hmm. And this time now, the numbers are they're absolutely insane. It's astounding to watch as somebody who was, competing 10 years ago when these numbers were, a lot of them were great multiply numbers 10 years ago, and now raw numbers, like John Hack, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Seriously.
Benching almost 600.
Yeah, it's what the it's crazy.
He is crazy. It doesn't make sense. Especially his benching to look at him. It's like, my God, he doesn't, he's he's lean and, you know, has muscle mass,
muscles,
but
they
yeah.
don't look like they're big enough to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Huh.
Crazy.
It's like the Louis Simmons thing and like the West Side culture. It's always just pretty interesting to us because
for sure.
it's so far away from like, you know, we have Massenomics gym and stuff, but it's like we go and like, I mean, we got a lot of people that train really seriously, a lot of people that compete in powerlifting, but it's also just kind of like a bunch of dudes. Like it's not
just looking for a good time.
Right. It's net like no matter like how, like there's moments when people get really intense when they're going for big sets and, you know, and get into that part of their training.
But that's how West Side is too, to be honest with you. West Side, like, you know, we were fucking around for a good, for a long time. At least I was, you know. Like,
so it wasn't like the second everyone's in the door, it's just pure business and there's no fun.
No.
Because that's almost like the feeling
that would be right there. Like my biggest misconception is like, I just assumed like the second you walked in, there was no smiling, no laughing. Like we're here to kill and that's it.
I was always laughing and smiling.
Okay. I do think that is a pretty common misconception that a lot of people like us probably have about that culture, though, that it just looks like it's like, you know, do or die.
If you
all
look
the
like you're
time.
enjoying yourself in any way, you don't
get the fuck
here.
out.
No, it wasn't quite like. I mean, it was. You know, we were friends. We had good times. We went out drinking sometimes. We had parties. I had parties at my house all the time. You know, it was. You know, there was that too. Like, you know, I loved everybody there. I did. I still do. You know, like me and Luke and, you know, a couple of their friends are in prison now. But it was a good. It was a great experience. You know, I think. You know, I don't think it was quite as harsh as people think it was. There were times absolutely times where, you know, it was, but for the most part, like, we all respected each other, you know, so that was a big thing.
Yeah.
I guess I learned something today.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool to hear perspective from someone that was there and doing it too, you know.
I mean, competitive as hell too, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? Like, insanely competitive. And the thing about it is that, like, Louis not really like coaching you, you know what I mean? He's not like standing there like giving you cues, you know what I mean? Like, he'll walk over once in a while and say some shit and then leave you won't see him again for an hour and a half, you know? And so
he's not pulling up like a Google spreadsheet and saying, no, you're supposed to hit 90% this week.
Dude, so one time I came in late, and so he was like, he wanted me to take a safety squat bar, put 155 on it, and walk a mile with it. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Shit. Screw that.
He's insane.
That doesn't sound like you wouldn't like that wouldn't be bad for the first little bit, but I bet that would really suck after a while.
Yeah. It was horrible. I did it. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I absolutely did it. It was absolutely fucking terrible. I couldn't really say no like I wanted to.
No, that's cool. So you live in Maine. I don't know what the laws are there for sure, but I don't know if you heard, but in South Dakota, recreational weed just got passed here.
I did hear that. Yes, here too. Yeah.
Oh, so
can you tell Maine,
did it just happen in Maine then too?
Can you tell them I? Is that what you're asking?
We can smell it through the phone.
Dude, now I'm freaking out. Yeah, same here. Same thing happened here.
So it just passed recreationally in Maine here in this last vote then too. Okay, I didn't know that for sure. Okay.
Yep.
Well, now you got a reason to come to South Dakota though sometime, but not so much that it's legal in Maine also.
I mean, I'm probably not going to go to South Dakota.
We always like to invite people here and nobody's coming.
What's there? Do you guys have like the mountain with the president?
Yeah, Mount Rushmore.
It's only a short 6 hours away from us though. So.
Yeah, it's in our state and nowhere near us. Like, you're probably
Where
close.
are you guys on the map?
We're really close to Minnesota and North Dakota. So
where's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cleared it up perfectly.
You know Canada, right?
I heard of it.
It's basically that. It's just a southern version of that.
That's awesome. Is it cold?
Yeah, it snowed a few times already. Well, it's probably, but you act like, I don't know, parts of Maine might be farther north than what we are too.
It was 70 today. 70.
Okay. Oh shit.
I'm in like south.
Okay. But like that way north part of Maine, that's probably way different than like where you live though too, I suppose.
Yeah. It's like a whole other world. Yeah. But yeah.
Sweet. Yep. So legal weed, we got that in common now though.
We have legal weed.
medically legal in Maine before? Or?
Yeah, it's been medically legal for a long time. So I never got a card though. So I was always like, no, I'm not getting a card. I'm going to buy it illegally. So I want to. I want to buy it from drug dealers. So I want to. So.
That's like some people. What movie is? I think like Bigger, Stronger, Fat. Like which one's? What's the movie with the bells? And,
yeah.
And I think it's probably Mark Bell on there.
Because he can get
you can get it
legally.
legally, and he's like, well. I like getting it the way I get it.
Yeah.
Like
it's way better.
I don't want to get it. I like
adds to the thrill.
Well, and he's like, the way I do it, it works good. Like why would I do it differently?
Right. He's right.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper. So.
Yeah.
Do we have a specific main question location to ask?
What was someone told us that we needed to ask you about? What the hell was the place? Some beach. And let me tell you what it was. You'll know it.
God.
It probably means something to you. It didn't really mean.
Is it a girl?
No, it was a dude. He's ask him Old Orchard Beach. Is that the place to go in Maine?
I mean, to do what? To go get drunk and get fights? Yeah.
Okay. So it's like.
No, it's cool. It's touristy. There's a lot of people.
Okay.
Right now, I mean, it's the winter time. I mean, I don't know why you do it right now, but yeah, the summertime, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's like, is it like the party spot or what?
Yeah, it's fun. It's cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, now we got our main vacation planned out.
Yeah, now we know where we're going when we go there next. So we do have our overrated underrated game that we want to play with you. So do you know the rules? Kind of what you're doing here?
I think I got it.
Okay,
I think I can do it. Yeah.
So
if you do get confused, though, just ask.
Yeah, just ask.
Yeah, I'll ask questions.
The one thing I would say is you do have to pick an overrated underrated. Sometimes you're gonna want to ride the line, but it's not allowed. You can't do that. And
one or the other. Yeah.
And this is worth pretty much all the marbles. Like it all comes down. Your performance on the podcast all comes down to how you do an overrated, underrated.
I'm not even worried.
Okay. Okay. So topic number 1, overrated or underrated box squats. It's always good if someone laughs a little bit before they answer that.
A bit of hesitation.
Yeah, that's the best.
We got them right where we want.
Overrated or underrated? Okay, underrated.
Okay. So what would you say about them? Do you implement them much now, or what do you what are they good? How do you like to use them?
For a raw squatter, I think they're an amazing secondary movement. I wouldn't use one I do it in my own training just because I'm old and I'm just trying to stay strong. But for somebody who's powerlifting, I would try to stick to something more specific, like a free squat, and use a box squat as an accessory. Yep. It does a lot of good for the posterior chain, for real. It built my squat up massively, so it works well.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
Right on. Was there many people at Westside that didn't buy into the box squat thing? Or I mean, it pretty much you get out of there if you're not.
What happened was,
because I've heard you say something about it before. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened was my box squat was like hitting these crazy numbers, like 1,400 pounds. And it was explained to me that my box squat and my regular squat was supposed to be the same. So I should be box squatting in the gym at Circuit Max, one less squat in the meet. I was squatting like 1,400 pounds, and I'm like, Louis, I barely squatting 1,000 now. It's my squats are going down, and I'm like, I want a free squat because there's nothing I'm sitting back into. The suit kind of, but it's not quite the same as sitting down and stopping on a box. You kind of like, I don't know, you can kind of cheat it. So I learned how to do it, just not purposely, but I get very, very good at box squatting, and so I wanted to every third week take a free squat, which isn't crazy, I don't think. So that's really all it was. Like box squatting is awesome, but you got to do the comp movement sometimes.
Right.
That was the big thing, and plus I was talking a lot to the guys at Big Iron Gym, like Sean Frankel, and they're doing the movements all the time. They're beating us, and it was pissing me off. So that too.
Well, it makes some pretty logical sense that it should be a rotation. It should be rotated. The comp movement should be rotated in I can
exactly. That's all I was saying. Right?
Yeah,
it wasn't that I said I hated box squatting or never box squat again. I loved it, and I still use it. It's a great movement, but I just want a free squat once in a while. That's all it was. There's nothing more to it than that.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, overrated or underrated genetics?
Underrated. Underrated.
I do like.
100%.
Yeah, I like some of your posts that you put out, like how you highlight like let's not act like genetics aren't important here. You know,
right.
Or the people that like to downplay their genetics in their PRs.
Yeah.
It's for some reason it's funny in powerlifting. It's considered a bad thing. You know, I don't understand why. It's like in everything else in the world that happens, every sport, every activity you do, somebody's better genetically. Look at the NFL players. You know, they look like fucking, you know, Roman statues. You know, like, you know, obviously they're better made to do that than your average person, and it's the same in powerlifting. Or anything, you know, anything in life, any sport.
But it's like people wanted to not like be like, no, genetics weren't a part of it for me.
Right.
Like it was just my hard work and
my
diet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. You know, I'm sure it's great, but and you got to work hard too. I mean, it's not everything. You got to work hard. I mean, I've seen guys with incredible genetics do absolutely nothing.
Right.
And I've seen guys with not great genetics do some crazy shit. So definitely can go both ways.
Yeah, the best of the best is for sure when it comes together and they're hitting on both cylinders. You know, they got the genetics and they're working hard.
No question. And I feel like that's the thing is people think when you say genetics, you're saying they're not working hard, but nobody's saying you're not working hard. You know.
Right. Well, for example, how old were you when you benched 500 pounds for the first time?
So I may have done it in high school or shortly after.
Right. Yeah. And that's not normal.
My bench went 80 more pounds over the next 20 years. You know what I mean? So I hit my genetic talent pretty early on and didn't really move fast. But
I mean, didn't you even say basically you went from, you know, what, natural 18-year-old benching 500 pounds to lifting for 20 more years and all the training and everything else and going to like you said, like 80 more pounds, right?
80 more pounds, steroids and all this shit.
Right.
80 more pounds, you know?
Right.
And that's how it goes sometimes, you know? I mean, but through a good portion of that, too, I was training in gear, so I was putting, I wouldn't work much past 500 pounds. And 500 pounds would happen maybe once a month, you know?
Right.
So, you know, there's a window there where I probably could have benched well over 600 pounds.
Right.
We'll never know.
Yep. Okay, so overrated or underrated? West Side Barbell, the gym.
The gym itself, or just the gym, like how the setup.
Well, yeah,
the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess the whole thing. Yeah, more like the whole thing. Yeah, I would say
underrated, man. West Side is the shit. West Side created powerlifting.
Yep.
You know, for real. No, underrated. It should be. You know, it should be. It's an incredible place, and I wish Lou kind of went raw. I talked to him about it a few times. He didn't want to hear it, you know. And you know,
what do you think it'd be like if they would have there? You know, I mean, we would never.
I think he could absolutely have done the same thing raw. I really do. I would have had to change his thinking a little bit, but I think he could have. You know, I think he could have. I mean, Matt Wenning's done some crazy shit raw as well.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yep. Yeah, I wish they would have 10 years ago.
It is one of those crazy it's kind of like the same thing of like, well, if Michael Jordan was playing against LeBron, like the whole what if in sport.
But it's great conversation, right?
Yeah, it is. I wish they would have though. I mean, multiply powerlifting certainly still exists, but like there's no denying it's not, you know, in the United States, it's not the popular form of powerlifting anymore. You know,
it's not. It's, you know, and things evolve, you know, and it is what it is. You know, it's the same thing with the UFC. You know, when you watch the UFC fights from like the 90s, they're bloodbaths, you know, and they had to clean it up and make it more visible for, you know, make it more watchable for your average person. And boom, blew up, you know, and the same thing kind of happened in powerlifting, and it's great. You know, embrace it, you know?
Yeah. No, that's good then. Okay, last one, and this is the most important one, you know, the most serious, of course, and it pretty much comes down to this one. So,
I'm waiting.
Overrated or underrated Maine lobster?
I guess underrated, for real. Maine lobster is awesome. It's the best.
Do they got the fresh catch there? You just go out. Can you go anywhere?
I have no idea.
Can you go anywhere and get a good Maine lobster?
So I live about half a mile away from the best lobster place in Maine. So I think I can walk to where, you know, like it's unreal. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Okay, so what does a lobster cost you there? Because here in the middle of the country, you couldn't be farther away from a lobster than
right. I don't know, maybe $20.
Yeah, you're paying way more than
like,
that.
Is that a good meal then? Like, I mean, okay.
Get some sides, but yeah, for real.
Like, there's got to be good protein and stuff in lobster. Then I would think it's probably a decent.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you should probably get two if you're going to do it. Twin lobsters, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you guys come here, for real, I'll take you. I'll take you where you want to go.
All right.
Maine
lobster.
I like it.
Awesome.
So that wraps up overrated, underrated, and a majority of what we're going to ask you about, but I wanted you to get your If people are interested in coaching and all that, where do they go, and what's the site, and what's the best way to catch you on all that stuff?
So trainheroic.com, trainheroic.com. Just search my name, you'll find it. Check out my Instagram, Big Poppy Panora. A lot of information on there too. Yeah, get at me. I'd love to coach you. I'll make you better.
Right on.
Cool.
I think that's awesome. Well, we really appreciate having you on. We'll have to do it again sometime. And
thank you.
Wait a second. Do you remember who did you take on in Massenomics versus when we did one?
Greg Louganis.
Yes, yeah. Do you think you handled?
I was like, they use Panera.
I really thought of it. That was the. I went back and forth on that when we were making that one too. Yeah,
that's funny.
That might be the sequel someday.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time you're in South Dakota then.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, Greg.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Thanks, guys. Love what you do. Bye.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
There he is.
That was them. The man, the myth, the legend.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
That was, very
Cool beans.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now it's official.
I think that's the right order to play those into. That's
like ease into it and then give him the abrupt one.
Yeah.
Tanner, I have an important announcement.
You didn't. I don't know how you did that.
Your boy just did. He drank an entire maple water orange mango.
Feel
Damn.
mine. This is with me like multiple times thinking I need to drink that whole like.
Yeah, that's like full.
I can't.
I'm serious. I'm so thirsty. I'm
really thirsty. Yeah.
There was multiple times I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I got to do it.
Yeah.
No, it was a cool podcast though.
That was cool.
Cool call.
Greg has a little bit different background than a lot of the straight up raw lifters that we've talked to in the past. So I think the West Side thing is always just really cool too.
It is.
It's interesting stuff. Like, I mean, because it is just far out compared to your average, what I would consider like raw or like USAPL community type of gym stuff.
Yeah, it really is. It's a whole different culture.
It is. And I do like Greg is just really entertaining though. I'm not just saying that because he's our guest on the podcast.
He's got a personality.
Right. He's got a personality. I really like his Instagram stuff. Like we make a lot of memes. So like Greg said, he's not necessarily turning it into a meme, but it's just as good. Like I get the same laughs out of it, especially as like us that make memes. I really like appreciate that stuff. And like almost every one of him makes me laugh, you know, where I'm like, ha, yep. I'm like, it do be like that.
Greg, it do be like that. You know me so well.
Yeah. So that is cool beans. What else we should probably remind? So they would be done. There's no submission time left for the Lift Hard Live Easy contest.
We'll be talking about submissions next week.
Well, yeah, we'll be talking about the winners next week and the ones we like the best. And but luckily for you, there is still a chance. The Lift Hard Live Easy contest is over, but there is still a chance to sign up to become a supporting member of the podcast.
There's always a chance for that.
Now's probably your best opportunity to get signed up. I mean, I wouldn't wait longer.
No.
Like if you don't want to wait on that.
No, the chance is always there, but you don't want to wait. For real, don't wait. But if you do wait, you can always do it.
Right. We're not really going to close it, but we want you to have the urgency that you need to get signed up now, but also feel like you could always sign up.
Yeah. And you do that by going to massenomics.com/join.
That's easy. That's very easy. I could remember that. And if you can't remember that, you can go to our shop. Scroll about halfway down the shop. You'll find a picture
of us doing our thing.
Yeah, sitting here. We almost need a revamped one, like one with the neon sign behind us now. How do you like to touch back in on our video? Does everything seem to be working right still?
I think so. I hope so. We're going
to
find
funny
out.
Lights on.
There's no funny lights.
What's that yellow light on the screen by you?
I just saw that a few minutes ago. I don't know what that is. That my heart went for a second.
Actually, I saw you look at the camera.
Yeah.
And then I looked up and I'm like, oh, does anything look different? I'm like, no, all looks good. And then I'm like, but wait, what is that yellow light?
Yeah, that's the only one that has me just a little scared. But the red one, the record button's still going. So
that's the square around.
We're going to find out very shortly, Tanner. We're going to plug this right in and see if it works. So hopefully we're all good.
Okay, good. And we did cross the critical 30-minute mark with it still looking like that it works.
So that's always a plus.
Yeah. Okay. Should we bring this one home then?
Let's bring her on home.
Bring it home. Say it one more time. The lift. What do you say? The lift ugly
Christmas
ugly
sweater.
Yeah, the lift
on
ugly
this thing.
sweater.
It's a beautiful,
and it's a steal, and
It
it's
is.
limited edition.
it has that beautiful lift logo that we've all come to know and love.
And it's
with,
got the custom woven label tag,
Yeah.
the Massenomics tag in
with
it.
just a really holiday season flair to the
And
whole
you
thing.
completely, this has there's actually a little
The little stitch pattern in
a
it.
little pattern that you make it, but Tommy literally like made that out of.
You just start with a wall.
repeating
You
that,
just start
yeah.
with a wall of a million of these things and just
Yeah.
start cutting them, just deleting the ones until
You get
it's
to,
like Michelangelo said he looked at a block of stone and he knew there was a statue in there, and
that's
he,
where David
he
came
released
from.
the statue. I looked at like this just a wall of white little stitches, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
know there's a sweater in there, and
Yeah.
I cut away until a sweater was
and you
revealed.
found it.
Yep.
And you knew when to stop.
And I knew when to stop, and we got a sweater now.
So buy that.
Yeah, get on that though, because you don't want to get one in
Yep.
January, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No,
You-
I
makes
mean you
maybe-
still could.
Yeah,
I
you,
suppose.
and
Let's
you
see if there's any left. There won't be any left, so you'd
and
buy
you
it
wear,
now.
wear it to the gym then, but
Right.
I mean, for showing the world, you want to show the world before Christmas time.
And you want to do that Santa hat deadlift. Why do a Santa hat deadlift and not wear a Massenomics lift ugly
Yeah.
Christmas sweater?
Yep.
I mean, would it be a Santa hat deadlift this year without a Massenomics lift sweater?
No, it would be pointless.
Yeah. Why even do a Santa hat deadlift, or like maybe even one with a funny Santa beard
No point.
or a Rudolph the reindeer nose without this?
Yeah. Yep.
I would wear this to your holiday Christmas party. Wait
It
a
would look
second.
great.
Those wouldn't exist.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that would be a great idea, except
Yeah.
those aren't going to be happening.
No. And do those even really happen anyways? Does anyone really like those?
Maybe if you work at a place that you really love, but I mean, who really works
Yeah.
at somewhere they really love?
Massenomics employees.
Besides Massenomics employees, who really loves where they work?
Nobody else. So that stuff, like the YouTube, make sure to check out YouTube.
Yeah, check out YouTube.
Here again, if you're just a listener, make sure to go subscribe on YouTube and
Hopefully
at
we
least
didn't mess this up. God,
Yeah.
my anxiety
Oh, yeah,
is starting
that's
to. I was
okay.
feeling pretty good. Now my anxiety is starting to be like, oh,
Yeah,
Tanner, I hope
yeah.
we didn't mess this up. So
Okay, so hopefully, if not this week, we might figure it out next week. Then
if not this week,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
always next week, right?
exactly, like it's on Facebook. Subscribe for our newsletter, and then Tommy on Instagram. where do
You
they
can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can find me at Tanner_Baird, but nobody gives a crap about that. Make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.